here's a major secret about the short game, okay? If you're not doing this, you probably can't hit a good chip shot or pitch shot, okay? And the word is the release. The style of how you release the club in the short game is just different from how you hit a 7-iron or certainly how you hit a driver, right? I think it's called the short game for a reason, right? It's a different part of the game of golf. It's a different technique. And the biggest difference is in the release. Okay, so what is the release? What are we talking about, right? Well, here's, if I swung this club through like I was hitting a full shot with an iron or with a wood, right? Look at that club face, right? Look what it looks like there. I've turned the face over, right? That's something that applies a lot of speed. That really helps me square up the club face and hit it straight, right? If you're doing that on like a little bit of a short shot, that's also applying a lot of speed, right? So if I have like a 10-yard chip, right, that's going to add a lot of risk. That's going to add a lot of speed. I want the ball coming out slower. I don't want it coming out fast. And that style of release uses a lot of leverage in the wrists, adds a lot of club speed, adds a lot of ball speed, right? So what's the release you're looking for? Well, it looks a little bit more like this. Right? Look at that club face right there, right? It's sort of aiming up, right? Now, this sort of varies depending on how high or how low you're going to hit it, but generally that release is going to look, let's call it a little more passive, right? That's the technique, right? So like in practice, what would that look like, right? Well, imagine the player who's sort of using that 7-iron release, right? Look at this shot here. I'm like pretty close to the flag. I don't have a lot of green to work with, right? So if I have that, let's call it that rolled release, right, where the wrists sort of let the club head turn over, even if I carry it the right yardage, right, even if I try to hit this, let's say like 10 yards, right, which I do, it lands in a pretty good spot, gone, right? So that's just something that's going to create some overspin. It's going to let the ball keep going. There might be the odd short game shot if you've got to hit one low and up a hill or something, or, under some branches or something where maybe we want that release, but not very often, right? Around the green, you want that ball to come out a little slower. So what's the release instead, right? Well, it's going to be that second one that we showed where the face hasn't flipped over. It's sort of maintained its loft, right? We've let the club head get past the hands, right? That's a release, but you can see that the club face didn't twist over. That's the big nuanced difference in that release technique, right? So here we go again, 14-yard shot. I'm going to try to hit it the same trajectory as the first one, but just a little more of that technique release here, okay? Right, so the face stays open a little bit more, right? Carries a little long, but it stays on the green, right? It lands a lot softer, and that's generally what you're trying to do, right? In the short game, there's short swings, there's short shots. You need slow ball speed, right? You don't want that ball coming out fast in order to control your distances, right? It's like, think about it boiling down to putting as well, right? Very, very rarely are you trying to hit it hard. So that technique, and you can do that from, a back of the stance shot. Those are the ones like kind of the Joe Mayo low spinner stuff, keeping that face the same. Certainly a bunker shot would have that look, right? The face staying up, or any kind of high lofted shot. That's the technique release. That's probably one of the biggest differences between hitting a short game shot and hitting a full swing 7-iron or driver. There you go. Think about the release. Give it a try. Keep that club face sort of square. Enjoy.